Now see it, person to person, a weekly document for television, as told by the faces and voices of people in the news.
Hey man, where'd you get the hair?
Well,
Where'd you get the hair?
I cut it like a long time ago.
Oh yeah, how long have you had that?
About a year and a half.
Are they still calling these mohawks?
Yeah.
Seen about the bridge back there? Isn't that the Kurt Cobain bridge?
Yeah.
Right back there?
Yeah.
You've been back there?
A long time ago.
Oh yeah. You kind of have to climb down underneath it, huh?
Kinda, yeah. There's a, right over there, if you go down under it.
Oh yeah, I was down there a couple of years ago. So, do people go down there much at all, or not a whole lot?
I don't really think so. I haven't been there for a while.
So you got Minor Threat? You got Rancid? What do you got on the back? Oh, the thanks. Rancid! So how many punks are there in Aberdeen these days?
I don't know.
Are you the only one?
I'm like
So did you see that building where they had R.I.P. Kurt Cobain downtown? And then they had a picture of Kurt, somebody pasted up a picture of Kurt, it was like 3 years ago, with like orange hair and...
Yeah, I have.
You saw that?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Kurt Cobain, and then they had that poster, yeah. So you've been around a long time. Yeah, what's your name?
Nathan.
And so like, were you into Nirvana at all?
Kinda, yeah.
Not quite enough hardcore for you?
Not really.
Oh really, so you think people
Still
are...
good.
You think people who are into punk might consider them a little bit not punk anymore, or?
She was never really a punk band. It was just kind of grunge.
But didn't you ever hear the term like pop punk? Well, people must still talk about him, huh?
I haven't heard anybody talk about him in a while.
Well, you live right here in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
But you mean people don't like to talk about Kurt Cobain anymore?
No, I don't really hear him talk about him that much.
Huh. So your friends don't consider him a punk? Huh. You mean Rancid is a punk? Haven't Rancid been on Saturday Night Live?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they've done like network TV and that kind of stuff too. But I guess Nirvana didn't usually have the hair when they were punk, you know. But you did see that picture, right, with him with the orange hair?
I think I know I saw the Rest in Peace one.
Yeah, R.I.P. Kurt Cobain, and then somebody put the picture. Actually, the picture was only there for about a month because people kind of tore at it.
I don't think I've seen the picture.
Yeah. But he had a lot of wild hairstyles. You've seen the Saturday Night Live of Kurt Cobain, right?
Oh.
He had orange hair in that.
I don't think so.
Oh, you haven't seen it? See, they never rerun that one. But so how old are you?
17.
So how long have you been a punk?
Probably about a year.
So what would be your best guess as to the total number of punks in Aberdeen?
I don't know. There's a lot.
A lot?
Yeah.
Well, how many is a lot?
I don't know.
More than 10?
Yeah.
But if you want to see a punk show, what do some of these bands book into Olympia?
They play a lot of shows around here. I saw one a couple weeks ago.
Oh, what band was that?
The Finks, Anti-Squad. I think Declassed. A couple other ones, I think.
So are they pretty rough in the dancing? There's a lot of moshing and stuff goes on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here in Grays Harbor County, punk isn't dead yet, huh? Not for a long time, I guess. Okay, thanks, Nathan.
Yeah. Later.
Yeah. treacherous climb.
Sprung a leak, and the animals I've trapped have all become my pets, and I'm living off of grass and the drippings from the ceiling. It's okay to eat fish, 'cause they don't have any feet. Sprung a leak, and the animals I've trapped have all become my pets, and I'm living off of grass and the drippings from the ceiling. It's okay to eat fish, 'cause they don't have any feet. I only have 3 cups of tea already, but thank you.
Richard Lee, followed by Bill Levering and J. Stephen Mayo. And we've been joined by Councilmember Nick McCott.
Hi, Richard Lee, and it's hard not to agree with the people who are appearing here who are irate about the TCI service, because obviously they've been pissing people off for years, and no one is surprised about this. But the real big question, I think, is to what extent is this TCI and the City of Seattle double teaming the citizens? Because TCI doesn't want to make the investment of, now Tina Pawlowski is saying $200 million or more in this rebuild. They don't want to make that investment because, you know, they're the owners of Prime Star, they're into providing content, and the idea of actually having to provide a utility is probably not such a good investment for them. And I don't know that it's a good investment for the city of Seattle either. And, Councilmember Steinbrück did offer earlier this evening that we shouldn't get too personal about this, but to some extent it is a personal matter, because we have to wonder if this sort of public investment can be made when in fact we might not be able to trust the government to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to upgrade the entertainment system in Seattle. And one item I'd like to introduce in this discussion here is a receipt for certified mail from January 16th, writing to Tina Pawlodowski. And this is a one-page letter asking her why she didn't respond to my 6-page letter from October 23rd. And I just wonder, Ms. Pawlodowski, you're at the forefront of advocating literacy and the very best in communications, but you appear not to be literate or communicative. And the central question that I'm trying to address, both in both letters, and also what I didn't quite get to in my statement last week, which you also obviously didn't respond to in writing, is that the Chief Technology Officer for the City of Seattle is Jaylyn Jacobs. I don't see her here this evening. She tends not to be around too much, but she's being paid $130,000, which is $15,000 more than the mayor makes. And she's a former executive of the David Geffen Corporation. And I find that very disturbing, because David Geffen is profiting from the life's work of homicide victim Kurt Cobain, who's been the subject of my public access television program. And I just find it very strange that she was able to transition from her role as an executive for David Geffen into being the highest paid City of Seattle employee ever. And with the time remaining, why don't you address the basic issue as to why you don't answer your mail?
Well, I do answer my mail, and my staff is here, and we do answer the mail, and I know that we've talked with you on the telephone as well regarding any of the issues.
Well, I spoke briefly to John Willis, and he in fact set up an appointment for the December 17th and then canceled it. So this is an October 23rd letter, you still haven't responded. So are there certain people that you just feel aren't worthy of a response?
No,
or is this a literacy problem? Or?
I'm going to move on in the public hearing, but I will say that your letter regarding the issues regarding Mr. Cobain, I think we've covered those with my office.
You've never said a word, you've never written a word. And you're the chairperson of the Public Safety Committee.
And I think we're going to move on.
That means you're in charge of the police.
And I think we're going to move on to the rest of this hearing so other people can also have.
Again, no response.
Thank you. The next.
You've never said a word, 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 you've never Looks like they're about to ready to turn out the lights. Are you on Pawlowski's staff?
Yep.
Do you guys answer the mail?
Try to, yes.
Why don't you answer my mail?
Well, we get to most of it as we can.
Well, mine has been outstanding for more than 3 months.
Yeah, we have been pretty busy with the TCI stuff as well as with the budget.
That's the excuse? We've been busy?
Yeah, that is. I mean, the Cobain murder is not an open case right now. The police department has told us that it is a closed one, and it's not considered one of the committee priorities right now. It's the best I can tell you.
But of course it is the Cobain murder.
It is that.
That's right. At least you got that right. At least that sunk into the consciousness of city government. But wait a second. I thought it was a suicide. You don't know, do you?
Don't know.
Not willing to take a position. Well, that's the smart way to be.
Well, I'm not elected yet.
But in all seriousness, you're Sally Clark.
Yeah.
Did you get my January 16th communique?
I know that we have the report that you'd sent where you did the come out and play cover to it. I remember seeing that.
In other words,
John
that's the
had
October 23rd letter.
October. Yeah, I know John had that. And
Which
now
includes
John's
the
finished.
lengthy report on the evidence of misconduct in the Seattle Police Department, in the King County Department of Health, the King County Medical Examiner. And do I understand that this long lapse of time is because you're very seriously contemplating the issue? Or is it in fact because you're choosing to ignore it completely?
It's probably somewhere in between.
Busy?
Yeah, that is. I mean, the Cobain murder is not an open case right now. The police department has told us that it is a closed one, and it's not considered one of the committee priorities right now. Cobain murder is not an open case.
He slipped on the wet floor and fell.
Cobain murder is not an open case right now.
He says otherwise.
Not an open case.
So do his men.
Cobain murder is not an open case.
There is men.
Cobain murder is not an open case right. Cobain murder is not an open case right. Cobain murder is not an open case right. Cobain murder is not an open case. Cobain murder.
You're off the investigation, Lieutenant, pending review.
Cobain murder is not an open case right.
What's all this? Everybody knows that Santiago's the biggest dealer in the city, in spite of his cover. Intelligence knows it, and so do the feds. His H comes in from Canada by mule.
Just file your report, Lieutenant. The commission will be pleased to consider whatever you have to say. A date will be set for the review board, and you will be notified.
That's it. Until further notice, you're on a desk.
Not an open case right.
I tried to warn you.
Cobain murder is not an open case right. Cobain murder is not an open case right. Cobain murder is not an open case right.
Wait a minute, Lon, don't do that. Too much politics.
Don't do that. Think about it.
Cobain murder is not an open
Put in
case
too
right.
many years here, Lon. You got a good record. Damn good record of arrests.
Cobain murder is not an open case. Cobain murder is not an open case right.
He was never part of the team anyway. Yeah, run it smooth. Don't do anything. Don't rock the boat.
You mean to infer that our
I can infer anything I want now, Chief. I'm a civilian again.
Cobain murder is not an open case right. Cobain murder is not an open case. Cobain murder is not an Cobain murder is not an open case right.
Hey, I got 16 ounces of coffee, man. I'm ready to work. I don't know about these MTV assholes. Stupid bastard tells me I can't roll video during the interview. Fuck him. You know? I better back down on that point or there ain't gonna be no interview. Yeah. Watch me tell MTV to go fuck its MTV self. Oh, super.
You're not going to be taping this interview, Richard.
Why do you say that?
Okay.
I gotta tell you, Curtis, you're acting like a total punk.
It's a wrap.
No, I gotta talk to your boss.
Go ahead. I gave you my cell phone.
Pardon me, my hands are full. Let me drop in your cell phone, do you? Look, man, I came to work. I brought my own coffee. Dim the lights. This is so sad. You got on speed dial? I guess I hate to do this to you, but I really wanted to be on national TV and put your place on national TV and all the rest of it, but if people are going to punk out on you on something this important, you know, this is not what I was expecting. Well, maybe it was what I was expecting.
The memo that she sent? Right here?
Yeah, I'm Evelyn Wood graduate. I read it, yeah.
Hi there. Is Susan there yet? Susan Varga? Okay, is Helen Rose there? Okay, thanks.
I will make efforts to attribute your ideas to you.
Hi, Helen.
50 cents or whatever. Which I'm not, you know, I'm not gung-ho about exploiting every angle on this thing, but I'm sure as hell not handing it over to the sole discretion of MTV Networks. No way. And they know this. I made myself perfectly clear. Perfectly. You know. And believe me, I go, yeah, I still got this carting around 50 pounds of stuff. I came here to work, man. You know, I mentioned it several times that my camera would be here. And so the idea that, you know, they would think it's okay to pull out at this point, no way. They're breaking their contract with me. I'm not breaking my contract with them. No way. So, sorry to disappoint my fans. Want to, want to be on, want to see the show make it to the big MTV, but hey, trampling over people is what MTV does, so, you know, I don't mind at all withholding my approval of that process. You know, these guys, you know, when you're dealing with them, you hold on to your wallet, you know what I mean? Because, you know. Now, why can't they be nice about this? Look at this. This is a perfectly good booth. They could seat me right underneath the beautiful old sign here that's been taken in from the cold and the rain, which is obviously a good idea for historical purposes. And what a great, great booth. And this booth has probably been here for like 65 years. Just sit me down at any primitive little booth with a little primitive table and let me do my thing, you know? But I'm not going to be on this damn bar stool, you know, fumbling around for documents like some kind of an idiot with this guy snapping his fingers and saying, "We only got 5 minutes for this question. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Where is it?" You know? I mean, the intention is to make me look nervous and idiotic. And that ain't gonna happen. I'm not going to be on national and international television being made a fool of. No way. No fucking way. You know, I spoke to this producer in LA this week, and I said, you got to give me a written assurance that says that as journalists, you're going to treat me fairly and with balance. And she said, well, I'm not sure that I really am a journalist. I think of myself as a TV producer. I said, well, you better rethink that, babe, because, you know, what I said to her is this is not a reality show like your production company is used to dealing with. This is not America's Funniest Bull Gorgings. You know, you're taking on a very heavy subject, and you're drawing into question my reputation and Dr. Hartshorn's reputation, because they're diametrically opposed, and you'd better damn well be ready to say that you're going to treat both he and I fairly. You'd like me to say in writing that I'm a journalist, and I will therefore follow various tenets of journalism. I will not lie and say I am a journalist. Where's the integrity in that?
because I'm actually a television producer. Oh, okay, this is what she says. Although the program VH1 Confidential is documentary in tone, it is entertainment. Well, what isn't? My trade is entertainment, not news. That said, well, then they should be paying me, right? Because the whole idea of them not paying me or anybody else, even paying for the use of this facility, is this is news. We don't pay for location shoots because we're news. Nevertheless, the letter says, my trade is entertainment, not news. That said, I will agree to make best efforts at dealing with you fairly and with balance. Addressing a specific point, I will not refer to you as a nut in my show. As per your request, you will be referred to in the show as journalist. Well, that's because I am a journalist. Good. There's a very good chance that I will show your webpage. I cannot make a promise at this point that I will mention your book in the show, especially considering it isn't completed yet. Well, I didn't say it wasn't completed yet. I will make best efforts to attribute your ideas to you in this particular show's format, and whilst any idea could be yours, will be coming directly from your mouth anyway. Original artwork, i.e. photos and footage, will not become the exclusive property of MTV Networks or Termite Art Productions. Curtis, what's happening?
If you turn the camera off, I'll tell you what your options are.
You're hiding behind a curtain, Curtis.
No, I'm not hiding behind a curtain. If you turn the camera off, I'll tell you what your options are.
Why are you so keen about turning off the camera?
Do you want to do this interview?
I want to do it the way we discussed it.
Okay, I talked to Susan, okay? She told me that you never, ever made that requirement. She said that if you're saying that, you're lying. Oh. And you never, ever told me that you had to take the interview, and you know that because we met
Well,
here.
I never said it was a requirement, but I did say I'd be doing it.
Okay, now you're changing your story.
But I did say I'd be doing it.
You're playing games with me. Here are your options. Here are your options, okay? You can either turn the camera off and do the interview for the rest of the time that we have available, or I'm going to strike it. And this is what's happening. They're going to go ahead and try to find Tom Grant. Because they want to go ahead. They want to go ahead and get that end of the story.
That end of the story?
Okay, well, if you want to be the person to represent that end of the story, then go ahead and turn your camera off.
I am not Tom Grant.
You've been promised.
If you want me, you have to deal with me, not Tom Grant.
You've been promised an SVHS copy of this show. If that's not good enough for you, then I don't know what it is.
I mentioned to Susan at various times that there would be a camera. I also mentioned it to you
and I'm telling
twice
you,
last night sitting over in that booth.
No, that's
I did not say
true.
It was a requirement.
No, you're lying. You were lying to me.
You did not dispute it. I'm not lying.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing also. Okay?
What are your reasons
you're
for not
You're not
allowing
to use
camera?
any of this. I'm not giving you any permission to use any of this on your show, okay? Right?
Wait,
you heard me.
You see, Curtis,
okay?
I am in the news business.
Okay,
and in the news business.
Okay, well, I'm not giving you permission
to use that. We have our own standards.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and wrap if that's what you want to do. It's not my 15 minutes of fame, it's yours.
Hey, Pally, I don't need your 15 minutes of fame. I'm already famous. I'm already famous. I don't need fucking MTV. Well, under these circumstances, Curtis, there's nothing left to say except MTV can kiss my ass. Go get Tom Grant, and he can tell you a bunch of fucking lies, and that's what you want? Go for Tom Grant. You know? He'll be your fool. He'll be your lackey. You can ask him all about how Courtney Love's attorney ratted her out a couple of days after the body turned up, right? And then you can repeat that lie on MTV, and then Courtney Love will have a contract out on you, right? I mean, a contract for a lawyer or something like that, not a hitman, because of course it's never been proven categorically that Courtney Love hires hitmen, although yeah, we're through filming, man. It's over, Rover. Sayonara, suckers. Seeing the funny pages. Is this door open? Oh no, they've locked me in. I'm in MTV jail. Do you have a key?
Yeah, one of the suckers you're talking about?
No, man. I think the Blue Moon was great. I'm talking to MTV. Why's that?
Oh, hi, Susan. How are you? Nobody's screwing with you. Curtis is punking out on me, and I think it's, I said that there would be a camera present.
No, he didn't.
We discussed this over the course of the last several months. It was mentioned several times. You never. Are you saying you mentioned a restriction about having a camera? Why do you think it's your prerogative to restrict that? Well, this is the news, and the news is the news. My program is the news. Well, Curtis has already told me that you're happy to have Tom Grant, and if that's your attitude, you know, go for it, babe. The camera is non-negotiable. I'm not going to be made a fool of. He's got me sitting on this bar stool. Well, if I don't have a copy of this, then I'll never be able to demonstrate if you do some hatchet job at it.
Let me hold this so you can...
No, don't touch my stuff. Curtis is grabbing at my stuff. This guy is such a punk. You know, he was an hour late coming here the other day, and now I'm putting up with this crap. He's just got a total attitude. All right, hold on a second. Did you authorize this guy to say, we don't need you, we got Tom Grant? Hello? Hey, your thing is off, man. Hey, your thing is off, man. Hello? Yeah. Hey, I'm not Tom Grant, you know? I am the original researcher. I did all of the original research. Tom Grant is just a guy who's feeding off of my labor. Because they got me sitting on this damn bar stool, you know? It's like we discussed this, and they got these great booths. I could sit down at the booths. I'll have my documents on the table. They're great booths. I mean, we went over this, and now he's got me sitting on this damn bar stool like some kind of barfly. A person does not look poised sitting on a bar stool. You're probably going to have Nikki Hartshorn in some kind of a... It doesn't matter, I'm off balance. It doesn't matter, I'm off balance. Think about it. I'm not a stand-up comedian who's used to sitting on a stool and making hand gestures sitting on a stool. My typical posture is not bolt upright, nor is anyone's. Well, Susan, we're talking about this, but the fact is, the reason that you don't want my camera here is that you want to have an hour and a half of tape of me that you have exclusive rights to forever. And that is, we discussed that over and over and over again, that I was uncomfortable with that. And you said this week, oh no, I finally got a hold of the release, and the release says that this becomes the property of MTV Networks forever. And I thought, well, okay, that's fine, but I'm going to mention definitely to whoever I deal with, including Susan, that I will have a camera here. Now you're saying you can't remember that.
Sit down, Bob.
Do you remember ever restricting me from having a camera here? Well, then, you know. Well, then, if you didn't specifically omit it, then don't tell me at this point. You know, it's all a wrap. We're just going to close down. We're going to go get Tom Grant and then blame me. Because you never brought it up.
I know I can take pills.
I got a cable access show. I got an hour to do every week. Why wouldn't I want my camera here?
My work.
Because we discussed it over and over again. What would happen to the tape?
I would.
It's in my notes, Susan. I brought it up.
It's a job, not enough. You could stay here.
Okay, I can agree not to show it before it airs.
I know.
That is my tape. Susan, you can give me, Susan, you can give me a broadcast quality tape of Kurt Loder getting it on with Tabitha Soren. I don't have rights to use that. I can only use it in my home. You know, you will still own the exclusive rights to an hour and a half of me explaining this case forever. Forever. How do I know that's not worth $1 million? And you're still going to get your $1 million, but the point is, you're not going to deprive me of having a camera copy of my own stuff. Well, let's face it. It didn't turn out as well as we expected, but it still turned out pretty good. Yeah, they got a little crisis here, because no one's ever told MTV to fuck off before. This is a first. Usually when we push people around, they just roll over and start crying. Who the hell does this guy think he is? So you guys got the "it's a wrap" signal at one point, eh? This is called closing up and going home, is that it? Massive waste of time. It's been like 3 months on the phone with these people. They never brought up the idea that I can't have a camera here. Well, sayonara. Hey, don't get hit by any trucks or anything on the way out. Oh, and say hi to Tom Grant for me. Suckers.
And this man's stunning claim that her father tried to leave town a half hour after the murder.
He wanted to take his entire family back to Atlanta while his daughter's body is still laying in the house.
The psychic to the stars in the Entertainment Tonight cover story.
Tell me, how do you talk to the dead?
He delivered Sonny Bono's message to Cher and his daughter from beyond the grave. Now the best-selling author conducts a stunning reading right here on the Paramount Studio Live. Cover story.
Tell me, how do you talk to the dead?
He delivered Sonny Bono's message to Cher and his daughter from beyond the grave. Now the best-selling author conducts a stunning reading right here on the Paramount Studio Live.
She killed herself over here.
Cover story.
Tell me, how do you talk to the dead?
He did a Tonight cover story.
Tell me, how do you talk to the dead? Tell me, how do you talk to the dead?
He did it right here on the Paramount Studio Live.
She killed herself over here.
Studio Live.
She killed herself over here.
Studio Live.
She killed herself over here. Story. Tell me, how do you talk to the dead? Tell me, how do you talk to the dead? She killed herself over here. She killed herself over here.
Studio Live.
She killed herself over here.
Meeting right here on the Paramount Studio Live.
She killed herself over here.
Jag Winter Wonderland Vacation.
Hey, E.T. Big James Elliott.
And Code Red. It's once, twice, 3 times the fantasy as the Playboy triplets hit the ER.
This is Entertainment Tonight, the most watched entertainment news program in the world.
Here's the top Hollywood news for this Tuesday, February 16th, 1999. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Bob Gold.
And I'm Mary Hart. Thanks for joining us. How does Sandra Bullock spend her time away from Hollywood? Well, she
had yourself a full court press of fun called the ESPY Awards. It's exciting.
Stars who were some autographs. The show was hosted by Samuel L. Jackson, who was negotiating to star in a remake of Shaft, and Rosie O'Donnell was among the presenters.
Well, Ben Affleck is the prize Courtney Love gets for becoming a Hollywood star, along with Jim Carrey. Because in Courtney's 2 new movies coming out, it's all about kissing her co-stars.
Jim's a good kisser.
Courtney is kissing and telling about her love scenes with Jim Carrey in their upcoming film Man on the Moon, a movie about the late comedian Andy Kaufman.
I really got along with Jim a lot, and he's very, very obviously funny, but he's also really deep and kind of really sexy. Profoundly. He is dreamy, sex bomb, cute.
Courtney can also be seen lusting after bartender Ben Affleck in the quirky comedy 200 Cigarettes. But things really got smoking when it was time to lock lips with actor Paul Rudd in a bathroom stall.
I liked getting paid money to make out with Paul Rudd.
That's not a bad job.
This is such an incredible coincidence.
But this musician-actress admits Hollywood has been in her blood since she was a little girl.
I did a Kellogg's commercial when I was 8. I tried out for the New Musketeers. That was my big thing. That's when I started. And when I was 6 or 7, Tatum O'Neal won an Academy Award for Paper Moon, and the next day they found me in Coburg, Oregon, about 20 miles from my house with a suitcase because I was coming to Hollywood.
Courtney's 200 Cigarettes packs them in theaters starting a week from Friday, and look for Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey this November.
That's not a bad job. 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 That's not a bad job.
Hello, I'm Richard Lee. Quote, Dear Richard, thanks for giving us the chance to review your material concerning the Cobain death. We've decided not to pursue this story for unsolved mysteries. I appreciate your taking the time to Xerox your web pages and for your time on the phone a couple of times. Best of luck to you. And this is a letter from the coordinating producer for the production company that does Unsolved Mysteries, sent from Burbank, California on November 13th, 1996, which is less than 3 months before the air date of their Kurt Cobain Was Murdered based segment, which drew a weekly top 20 rating for the program. Quote, Dear Mr. Lee, thank you for your input. It is unfortunate that your scheduled interview on February 5th did not go as planned. Rest assured, I am discussing this at length with both Mr. Marlowe and Ms. Varga. Your offer to attempt a second interview is appreciated, but not necessary, as production is now completed on the Kurt Cobain segment. Signed, Eric Nelson, Termite Art Productions, President. And this company being the producers of programming for MTV Networks. His letter in response to a letter of mine of about 1,500 words, with his letter dated 3 days ago from offices in Studio City, California. As much fun as we can possibly have for putting in full-time hours on the Kurt Was M Bureau without pay, we must say that all of the amusement we gain from being the true author at the position of authority in this case still leaves us with something of an annoyance at our exclusion from so much as a mention in the reportage of the various schemers, scammers, and info pimps who are managing to turn a very big, in fact, multi-million-dollar trade in pretending that they give a flying fake of concern about this once-in-less-than-a-blue-moon occurrence of celebricide with conspicuous suspects and even more conspicuous controversies. Bitter is the word that's been put to us by more than one scribe seeking to put a blunt, fine point on the situation in terms that they believe the average bunghole in the street can easily understand. You know, bitter, bitter, you're the bitter guy, right? Go on and say it, you're bitter, and there's just no getting around that, right? We've always refused to give in on this point, instead pointing out the truth that the efforts of the bunglers who think that they can undercut us by cutting to the chase, they think the vast North American bunghole population is eager to buy, always leaves us with the same reaction, quite honestly, genuine bemusement at the thick web of lies, distortions, malappropriations, and other maneuvers that we can only call, you know, Courtney-esque in nature. Of course, there is that slight measure of apprehension that we have about the possibility of our not becoming triumphant in the whole concern. The strangest turn in the mess would be if the market, or those who control its gates and alleyways, somehow put in the fix on our getting our propers as some sort of long-term covert op that proves that in the world of seeking to make $1, or even a dime one, on such a lucrative proposition as a scandalously RIP'd VIP, even that most sacred ballot box of the wide world of free trade can have its elections betwixt. And I'm Richard Lee, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.